Hey, what's going on, everybody? Tonight, I want to bring you guys a little bit of gameplay from Caldera, the new Warzone map. Got to play a little bit of it tonight. I also want to correct some of the classes that I made today. I did not know that one, as of last night, we were staying on the MW engine. That wasn't released until today. And two, I have made a couple switches to my STG. I also want to show you guys a little bit of the MP40, and I don't have it unlocked yet, so I can't show you any of it. But the PPSH shreds. Now, as you guys can see, if you had filters before for Warzone on Verdansk, you might want to consider changing those at some time, probably tomorrow, or if not Friday. I will be changing my filters. It just doesn't mesh very well inside of Caldera. You'll see that in the gameplay you see later today. Go ahead with this. I don't quite know what this is. This is some kind of new texture glitch. It's been happening all day, at least for me. I don't know about anybody else, but this only happened on just the STG as far as I know. I mean, I used the MP40 all day, had no issues. Jumping on into it, I did get a couple of these things right. I got a couple wrong. As of right now, still the Mercury silencer still takes away damage range. Now, we saw this in Cold War, so not too surprised. What I myself has seen that worked the best, and I think Jay got also put this out, but so what I worked the best is the F8's stabilizer. It worked really well. Recoil stayed down. It was quick. The VDD 760 barrel, I did like this one a little bit more than this. I just didn't feel like this one really did much, but this one seemed to really do the job, and I liked it a lot. Going over the G16, the 3 times that I had said in my previous video was a little bit too much. You'll really see that on the, I believe, the 3.5 optic on the STG. It's ground loot. It is extremely magnified. The 2.5 makes it the absolute perfect beamer. Going over to the barrel, or the stock, I should say. I think I said this one down here, and I still do like this one, but this one seems to just have a little bit better, a little more movement, and that's what I was looking for. I was correct. Vital is the best one for this. There's really not much of a reason to be running these as far as I know. On hand, again, I do believe I was correct on this one as well. This one really kind of lets, when you let a frag, it's almost like having, what's that perk? It's almost like having amped just on your gun too. It's very nice, very nice. Pine tar grip, I think I was also correct with this one. It really helps with the recoil control. I love it. 45 round mag, again, I was also correct. I think this was the number one option that I knew was going to be correct. Using a 45 round mag on the STG with only 30 rounds is going to be the way to go. Wingland, I think I was correct on quite a few of these, to be honest, and this was another one. It really helps with that bullet velocity. When you're trying to shoot and track somebody, it really helps with that a lot. And the Carver. Now, I do believe I had the strife angle for my video last night, and I tried it. I liked it, but I didn't love it. So I went around, started playing with some stuff, and I like this one a lot. It also adds a little bit of hip fire, but I don't know if I ever hip fired with the STG today. Maybe one time inside of a building, that was about it. Outside of that, I was pretty correct for the most part. Heading on down to the MP40. Now, like I said, I don't have the PPSH done, but the MP40 is also a hard hitter. I put the strife compensator on. It's essentially the same thing as the other one. It's actually up here, but I like this one down here. I believe that when you take away hip fire and sprint speed, it kind of hurts it. You don't want that in an SMG. An AR is okay. Not in an SMG. I like this a lot. Coming over here to the, I don't know how to pronounce that, Krausnik 221 MMM01B. Gives you a lot of great stuff. ADS, hip fire, aim walking, sprint to fire. Love it all. It does hurt your bullet velocity and control a little bit and the damage range, but usually when you're trying to have an MP40, you're within 15 meters. So these aren't going to be hurt too much as long as you can control that recoil. Now, this is one that I was really unsure of what I wanted to do, and I'm still pretty unsure of what I want to do. I like it. I don't love it. I really do like clean iron sights. These aren't too bad, but at the same time, I was really liking how we didn't use optics on MW in Cold War, but because we get 10 options and we don't have to actually make a choice anymore, I would like to have an optic, but a clean one, and we'll see how I feel about this in a couple of weeks, especially with this update coming out tomorrow morning, which again, if it comes out tomorrow morning, I could once again be wrong on everything. So take this with a grain of salt. Rocking on over to the stock, we have the Krausnik 33 millimeter or meter folding. I'm not sure if M starts for meter tonight or right there. It gives you a little bit of sprint to fire movement speed. Again, with an SMG, that's exactly what you want. I could care less about initial recoil. I still don't quite know what that means. Maybe it helps your first bullet and your second bullet jump a little bit more, because usually when you have that first and second bullet, they're pretty tight, and then it kind of starts, you know, the longer you go in the recoil, it starts to get out, you know, increase a little bit more. But maybe it increases a little bit on the initial. Not a big deal though. I picked brace. I liked actually getting that back, and whenever I was making that, I thought about that, and then I saw this down here, and I was like, oh, I can just get that back. So as far as I know, that actually might cancel it out. If not, again, I didn't have this. So for perk 2, I like quick. You want to be very quick with an SMG. I don't know what these two are just yet, but I did want to be quick with an SMG, so I think this is another thing. I think this is probably going to be the meta on everything for SMG wise. So I really like the fabric rear grip. Again, you want ADS, you want sprint to fire, you want hip fire control. So that's why I picked this one as well. I think that it beats out essentially every other thing here. It's a SMG, 64 round mag. I love it. You don't want 32 rounds in any of this, so I loved it. Again, this wasn't exactly something that I could do without any of these, honestly. I don't remember what this one right here is. Maybe this is the one that I need, that I have on the STG, but just none of these really do it for me. So I didn't really care what I used for ammunition. And for the underbarrel, I used hip fire accuracy. Just like on Cold War weapons, you want to use a bruiser. Same thing here. You want that hip fire. Now, moving on down here, the frag grenade actually got an upgrade today. It got a significant upgrade. I think the Semtex got like a 5 damage upgrade, and this got like 120. So for me, I'm going to be rocking the frag for quite a while, probably, unless I find a reason not to. It's extremely lethal, and I actually got it down today with it. I could only use a stun. I didn't really notice a huge difference in stuns. I know they essentially took the stuns in half. They made it to where instead of it's your stun for 6 seconds, you're only stun for 3 seconds or something like that. Maybe it was 6.5 and now it's 3.5. Either way, you couldn't use the heartbeat today, so I have absolutely no clue how much of an impact it is. I saw that it went from 3 to 6. So again, this was cut in half. This was doubled, meaning it now takes 6 seconds in between pings. So I'm happy about it. I was kind of hoping for more of a battery so that it can you can actually get rid of it at some point. You have to drop it, but that's maybe for another day. And then yesterday in my video, I had said that the perks would be changing. Again, that was all because of we were under the assumption that we were going to be using Vanguard's engine. And this morning, I don't know who exactly found out first. Maybe it was Charlie Intel. We found out that we were not going to be using that and was going to be on this engine. Now, I'm sure the content creators that got the game early may have known but couldn't have released the info. But now we know, and what I said in that first video means absolutely nothing perk-wise. Hey, what's going on, everybody? I know everybody was super excited to see some gameplay finally. I did get to play for a couple of hours today, about 5.5, 6 hours today. It was a lot of it. It was very exciting. I want to give my opinion on it a little bit. And my overall opinion, to be honest, is it's all right. It didn't really blow me away, but it didn't suck either. I didn't really have that feeling that I did whenever I first played for Dansk. Unfortunately, I think that there's a couple of things drawing it back. I'll get into the pros of the map because there are some pros too, and there's some things I think can be worked out. But we'll hopefully get an update later today before the game actually goes live. I'm not quite sure the exact time. I heard 7 p.m., but we'll see about that when it goes live for everybody else, and we're playing everything besides just Vanguard Warzone. So one of the main things I wanted to get addressed in the new video was elevation. I was hoping that they were going to fix the elevation issue. We weren't going to have any more 18-story, 30-story buildings in downtown. And as much as they did fix that, they kind of created other problems. We currently now have a big mountain in the middle that spans, I feel like, the entire middle of the map. Elevation is a big problem there too. So I feel like they never fixed the elevation issue. It's still a rather large issue that I think is going to plague Warzone, especially now that we're looking down on trees and we can't actually run into a building to get safe or cover up, plate back up, readjust situations. I just think that it's going to be a big L in the long run, unfortunately. I hope I'm wrong, but I really just don't quite know about it. So we'll see how it plays out. The no loadout early. I'm very much on the fence if I like or dislike this because I'm just not quite sure how I feel yet. Only 5 hours in. I feel like it could be a good thing. It could really help out the pace of the gameplay a little bit. Maybe people aren't running to just go do scav, loot, and then loadout. But I also feel like people aren't going to be as aggressive either, unfortunately. So I hear a lot of other people being mad about it. I'm not that mad about it personally. I'm just not sure how I feel about it, to be honest. The bulky guns is an issue, though, I will add. There are a lot of bulky guns in this game, whether it be the DP-28. I can't remember the exact gun name, but there's one where the ammo sticks straight up. There's a sight that sticks out the left side, so it almost looks like an eyeball sticking out the left, and you have your ammo sticking straight up on the right. It takes up a lot of your screen. I know while shooting the DP-28, a guy slid down while I was up on top of a building, and I completely lost track of him because the gun is so big. That big circular drum really kills you. So that's kind of an issue. I also feel like the gameplay might be a little bit slow. Now, I think when people learn the map more, maybe get guns they actually enjoy using, and like I said, even possibly get earlier loadouts, it could increase the gameplay a little bit, the gameplay speed, but I don't know if that's really an issue, the gameplay speed rather than being the loadout issue. So we'll see, but I think that maybe when people learn the map more, it might not be so bad. But right now, the gameplay is rather slow. People are campy. So that might just be because of Caldera, how it's set up too. So we'll find out what that is. But right now, I'm not enjoying the pace of play. I will, though, say the game looks beautiful. As you guys can see, I do have filters, and I hope that the filters... I'll be able to fix them because currently they kind of make the game not look high definition. And I think that's because of my filters that were from Verdansk. Now, I will say I am getting new filters. Hopefully by Friday, I'm going to try to work with them a little bit. But the game looks without filters beautiful. Just a little bit hazy, though. It does give you a little bit of a slight FPS boost. Not a lot. In the Gulag, I lost like 40 FPS. I don't know what that's about, but I'm still above my 144. But in the actual Warzone, I'm above like 10. The big thing, like I was saying earlier, there's no downtown. I love that issue. I'm not loving the mountains, but I love there's no downtown. And there are 228 or 232 POIs. Really can't be too upset about that, unfortunately. I love that there's a lot of areas to drop, even ones that aren't marked. And I hope that brings a lot of different gameplay.